Today, I'm here to show you something a little different. I want to do a quick tutorial and a help video for setting up dual streaming and the potential methods of doing so. Now, as you look at some of my older videos, you'll notice the quality was a little, it was okay, but it wasn't the greatest. And that the would lag once in a while, and you would have issues. What I previously was running was an RTMP feed from OBS from my gaming computer to my broadcast computer, and then using XSplit on the broadcasting computer to signal to Twitch. Last week, I broke down and bit the bullet, and I spent some money I didn't have to spend, but I spent it. And I purchased one of these wonderful little puppies. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Elgato Hd60 Pro PCIe video capture card. I'm here to tell you, this is a wonderful animal. The new videos have absolutely great quality and clear picture and function perfectly. Now, to explain my dual PC setup, because I'm going to do it a little different than you've seen other people's videos display on how to do it. To explain my system, first I'll tell you what I have. My gaming computer is hooked to a 46-inch television through the HDMI cable. My broadcast computer is hooked to a 37-inch television using an VGA cable, because I broke the end off of that HDMI cable and had to swap to the other one because, well, I broke the cable. It happens. So, here's the setup. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you, I had questions, and I've actually been on the phone with the guys at Elgato, and very helpful guy, Dustin, helped me out a bunch. Depending on where you watched your videos, Newegg's video where the girl shows you how to install the Elgato card, she's putting it into a PCI Express 16 video card slot. Other videos show them putting it in the very small PCIe 1 card slot. I'm here to tell you it will work in either or, because I've put it in both, and it works in both. Now, the only exception to that rule is I had to go ahead and put it in the PCIe 1 slot because I had to put my NVIDIA video card back, because I want you to have an NVIDIA video card, because it was loading 98% of my CPU, GPU on my ATI video card. And no, I needed to get that load down. So I put the NVIDIA card back in, put the Elgato in the PCI 1 slot, fired up, loaded the driver, everything worked out just perfect. Didn't have to do any reinstall of the software. Boom, and away we go. Now, here's where I'm going to differ from other videos. The tutorials that I did watch previously on YouTube suggest using the Elgato's sound capture program. Very quality program. It will do the job. But I believe it's got some shortcomings that Elgato could fix. I'm actually going to try to contact Elgato's tech support and suggest the fix to them, because I think it can be done rather easily, and in the same term bring a free product that is in our community further into the spotlight and give them a little more of a position in the world and a little boost in needed income, maybe. I don't know. Now, as I said, the Elgato system works. Now, it's simple enough. You come into your computer and you go to your sound device speaker at the bottom right corner and click on it and go to recording devices. Now, on your recording devices, you set the Elgato sound capture as the default. And then you go to your NVIDIA controller and make sure that you set, or it should automatically have set, the video output HDMI to the Elgato. Boom, you're done. Happy as a lark, pretty as can be, away we go. You can close the NVIDIA control panel. And you could technically close the sound control panel, but we're going to come back to that. Now, that system does work. When you go to your streaming computer, there is one different thing you have to do. If you don't want to get an echo, a double voice recording, which will sound terrible, on your streaming computer, you're going to go to that same Elgato sound capture card. You're going to disable it. Disable it, or you're going to get a dual audio feed, which will sound like crap. We don't want that. We want a good, clean, crisp sound. Now, here is where I am going to differ from these other tutorials. And this is where I think Elgato could make some great strides in improving the capabilities of their software. Now, in my computer, I have installed the Virtual Banana BB Audio software. I am a great fan of Virtual Banana. It's free software. They do ask you to donate if you want the extra two audio cables for taking and patching individual certain somethings into something. Most of you won't need that. I didn't need it, but I use it for one thing just because it makes it kind of handy to be able to put my Skype audio into my stream. Now, Virtual Banana is simple to install. You download it. You just scroll down the page here to the download section, and you can either get the zip file or the exe. Exe is much easier in the long run. Boom, exe, boom, you're done. Here is the one trick you have to follow. Once you've downloaded it, you cannot just install it because it will fail. You need to open up your folders, go to your downloads, find your Virtual Banana setup. You right click on it and you must run it as an administrator. Once you click that, click the install, let it do its thing. It will then tell you it needs to do a reboot. Now, before you reboot, if you're going to put in the auxiliary patch cable, go ahead and install it. Again, same principle. Come in. You're going to pick either the 32-bit setup or the 64-bit. You're going to right-click, run as administrator, click the install. Get done. We need to do a reboot. Do the reboot. Now, once you have rebooted, you have to set Virtual Banana up. Now, this is what Virtual Banana will look like once you get it fully up. Simple setup. Some people make this really seem hard, but once you do it once, you go, oh. You're going to come in, first off, Elgato will set everything for a 4800 megahertz, 4800 hertz on your audios. That's fine. That's simple. First thing you're going to do is going to come into the first hardware input. You're going to click the down arrow, and you're going to pick whatever your microphone is set on your first hardware input. For me, it's a Realtek sound card with a microphone plugged into it. Pick it, check mark it, boom. On my second hardware input, I've used my C-Media USB XLR microphone. This microphone you see sticking out here at the side of the frame. Boom. Select it, you're done. Now, on my third hardware input, I used the virtual cable to assign it to the third hardware input. That's there in case I want to send somebody something, a program specific to Virtual Banana. Now the virtual ports, your auxiliary, your Voicemeeter VAIO and your Voicemeeter aux, these are your onboard sounds. Pure and simple. Anything your computer makes will go to those two virtual inputs. Now, you come over here to A1. These are your hardware outputs. A1 is set to my Realtek audio speakers. These are the speakers that I hear all my sound from the computer on. They're off to the right, so they don't cause a feedback on my microphone. They're out of the danger zone. Boom. My A2 is set to, right now, actually nothing. It would be normally be set to my NVIDIA HDMI port. Now my A3 is set to my Elgato for NVIDIA high definition audio. That being the signal being sent straight to the Elgato. Now here's where it gets tricky, but not tricky. This is where I don't use the Elgato sound capture device because it has a few drawbacks that I think could be improved upon. And I really want them to improve upon them because they do have a shortcoming. Now, I have my microphone set up. I have my input set up. I have my output set up. Down here to the right, you'll notice the master section. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2. These are all checkmarked here on this little tape recorder. That literally, I can hit that and it will record any audio track, any conversation I have through the computer, whether it be Skype, whether it be Discord or TeamSpeak, anything. So, a very handy little doodad that's in there. Most folks won't use it, but it is there. Now here's your setup. This is the most simple part of this program. As a general rule, all of these sliders should be checkmarked for B1 and B2, which is just sending them to this master section. So everything gets B1, B2. Now, once you've set that, you want to be able to get your audio over to the Elgato. Now, my Realtek microphone, I don't want feeding that to my Elgato. Therefore, you'll notice on the Realtek microphone, it is not checkmarked for A3. It's dead, actually right now muted because I'm not technically using it. It's strictly something I use for Skype because I can talk from all the way across the room. That microphone will pick it up because it's a powered microphone. My C-Media microphone is set to A3. And my patch cable is not set to A3 because right now I'm not broadcasting Skype to my Elgato. I don't need to. Now, my virtual Voicemeeter VAIO and my Voicemeeter auxiliary, they're both sent to A1, which are my Realtek speakers above me over to the right, and the A3, which is out to the Elgato. Now, once I have done that, I am now sending audio straight to the Elgato feeding into my broadcast machine, gameplay, microphone, everything, boom, out the door it goes. Perfect. On the broadcasting machine, the Elgato line in is disabled to avoid the echo. Now here is my main reason why the Elgato has a shortcoming, where the Virtual Banana does not. You've all been in a game or in a game lobby, I'm maybe assuming on Steam. And unlike in-game where you had to push a button to speak, in the lobbies your microphone is live. And you've always had that one guy who's got all this noise just coming through his microphone all the time, feeding. And it's annoying. Here's where Virtual Banana saves us that the Elgato doesn't. And this is the one thing Elgato does need to fix. I think it will be a great improvement. You'll notice here on my C Media microphone and on all of the inputs, you have a compression under the audibility and a gate. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it off here real quick. Now, I'm running my gate down to 0 on my C Media, and I sound fine. But you'll notice when I stop talking that this meter is still showing signal. As you see, quite a bit of signal. That is every ounce of noise from the computer fans, the air moving through the room. This is all the extra static that it's picking up that people will hear, and it's annoying. So I go to the gate section of my C Media input, and I run the gate up until that noise, when I stop speaking, goes away. Perfectly beautiful, clear, clean audio without that excess noise. Boom. I stop talking, the signal drops to 0. No excess background noise, no nothing. Now, only other thing you want to set for Virtual Banana once you install it is go to the menu and put a check mark on System Tray, run it startup. Every time you start the computer, it will automatically turn on and load the Virtual Banana. Go into your sound settings, and on the playback, set the Virtual Banana input, Voicemeeter input as the default, the auxiliary as your default communication device. Under recordings, same thing. Output, default device, auxiliary, default communication device. Close it, you're done. Hit the X on Voicemeeter, you're done. Now, at that point, we can now come over here to Twitch channel. I'm going to play one of my game feeds that I recorded last night on this new setup. You see we have good quality picture. Here's the game noise. You'll hear my voice. We have good, clean, quality picture. I'm going to back the game audio down in the volume a little bit on the stereo side of things. And I now have sent audio to the game through the Elgato broadcast. Well, not to the game, but to the Elgato to record into the broadcast. I have game audio. I have my voice. And I don't have to set any listen to in the sound card because I'm automatically using the Voicemeeter Banana to add my microphone to anything that moves along with my desktop audio. I don't have to deal with any stereo mix. I don't have to right click and go properties and go to listen and set listen on any of my microphones. All of it is automatically mixed into my desktop feed to the Elgato, and away the game goes. Now, to show you what I consider the best part of the video quality, I am using a 46-inch monitor as my screen. And if I blow this up to full size, I still have good picture. Could be better, but I can't broadcast 1080p because, well, I don't have the internet bandwidth for it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my how-to on setting up a dual PC audio system and Elgato broadcast system. Thoroughly love this card. It has solved the problem of having to load my gaming machine with an extra program running to send the signal to the broadcasting machine. It has increased the quality of my video footage. I'm quite pleased. Literally quite pleased. I hope this video helps anybody. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm pretty much here any day of the week, Monday through Sunday, from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 1 a.m. Central Standard Time. Either broadcasting on Twitch, playing CSGO, or with the customer. But I'm always here to help. If you have questions, contact me. I'm more than willing to help you. As I said, I'm going to suggest to Elgato that they might want to incorporate something like Virtual Banana into their setup, just for the simple fact it makes it easier, in my mind. That noise gate to remove excess noise from your microphones, absolute winner. Because no one wants a crappy audio signal. Like my channel, that old guy playing CSGO on YouTube, Willie71667 on Twitch. And if you're playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, watch for him, aka Willie. Have a good day. Have some great gaming. And enjoy yourself. Hope this has helped somebody. Out.